5 signs you have the rarest personality type in the world. Only 2% of people do.
There is a specific kind of tiredness that doesn't come from working too hard, or staying up too late, or running too fast.
It looks
comes
like we
from
have
a
a
dinner
deal.
party,
I've ever
from a
seen.
meeting
He
that
just
went
stood there
well,
covered in
from a
sauce.
perfectly normal
Thanks,
afternoon
guys.
with people you actually like. You go home, close the door, and just need silence. Not because anything went wrong, but because something inside you has been working the entire time, on a frequency nobody else in that room could hear. If that exhaustion has a name in your life, if you have ever wondered why a fine day costs you 3 days to recover from, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear is not another personality test. It might be the first explanation that actually fits. In 1996, a psychologist named Dr. Elaine Aron, working at Stony Brook University, identified a trait she called sensory processing sensitivity. Brain imaging studies have since confirmed that roughly 15 to 20% of the population, about 1 in 5 people, have nervous systems that genuinely process information more deeply than others. This is not Myers-Briggs. This is not pop psychology. There are fMRI scans showing measurable differences in brain activity. There are genes associated with it. There are over 100 animal species that show the same trait, which means evolution has been keeping this around for a reason. So before you call yourself too much again, consider this. You might just be reading a manual written for a different machine. You walk into a meeting. Nobody has said anything yet. But you already know your colleague is upset about something at home. Your boss had a hard morning. There's tension between 2 people in the corner who haven't even looked at each other. Other people will spend an hour catching up. You knew in 8 seconds. This is not magic. It is not paranoia. It is what researchers call empathic accuracy. Your brain pattern matches micro-expressions, posture shifts, vocal pitch, breathing rhythm. Most people's brains filter this data out as background noise. Your brain processes every signal. And here's the part nobody warns you about. You walk out of that meeting carrying 3 people's pain that they didn't even ask you to carry. Nobody handed it to you. You just picked it up because your brain doesn't know how not to. You go home heavy, and you can't explain why. Your partner asks how your day was, and you say, fine. Because how do you describe the weight of information no one knew they gave you? This is the cost of seeing clearly in a world that mostly walks around with its eyes half closed. You finish a meeting and somebody immediately wants to grab coffee. You leave work and walk into a noisy household. You scroll your phone for 3 minutes and then try to fall asleep. Your nervous system never gets to land. For about 80% of people, this is fine. Their internal switch flips fast. For you, every transition is a small decompression chamber. Skip it, and the next thing you walk into feels chaotic even when it isn't. And here is the cruel part. The world will not give you this time. Meetings end and the next one starts in 5 minutes. Your phone vibrates the second you sit down. Your family asks how your day was the moment you walk in the door. The system is built for a nervous system that isn't yours and then blames you for not keeping up. The psychologist Marty Olson-Laney has documented how high-sensitivity nervous systems metabolize stimulation through a slower, longer neural pathway than the average brain. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You are running an operating system the modern world has zero patience for. And every time you push through without buffer time, you pay for it later in irritability, in fog, in that strange flatness that shows up on Sunday nights when you don't even know why you feel hollow. I want to pause here, because I learned this one the hard way. For years, I scheduled my life back to back. Meeting, lunch, meeting, gym, dinner, social. By Friday, I was a person nobody wanted to be around, including me. I assumed I was just lazy, or weak, or maybe I needed more discipline. Then I read Aron's research, and I tried something embarrassingly simple. I started putting 15-minute gaps between things. No phone, no talking. Sometimes I just stood by a window. Sometimes I sat in the car after parking and didn't get out for a few minutes. By the end of the second week, my partner asked what was different. I wasn't snapping anymore. I was actually present at dinner. The same week, same workload, same people, same problems felt 40% less heavy. I'm not a different person. I just stopped denying my own design. That sentence, I stopped denying my own design, is the entire game. Everything else in this video is built on it. Sign 3. And this is the one nobody warns you about. A piece of music ends, and you're sitting there with tears in your eyes, and you can't fully explain why. A particular slant of evening light through a window stops you mid-sentence. A stranger does something kind. and your throat closes for the rest of the ride home. People have called this dramatic, sensitive, too emotional. It is none of those things. In Aaron's research, this is called depth of processing combined with strong emotional reactivity. Your brain doesn't just observe beauty. It links what it sees to memory, to meaning, to the fact that this exact moment will never happen again. That is a lot of weight to carry through a normal Tuesday. But here is what people miss. The same nervous system that breaks open at a sunset is the one that catches kindness others walk past. The same person who cries at a song is the one who notices when a friend says I'm fine and isn't. The same depth that exhausts you in crowded rooms is the depth that lets you sit with someone in their worst moment and actually be useful. You don't feel too much. You feel exactly enough for a world that has trained itself not to feel at all. And every time you've apologized for the tears, the chills, the way a piece of art shut you down for the rest of the evening, you were apologizing for the most ancient, most beautifully calibrated part of being alive. What if it was never anxiety? What if the anxiety you've been trying to medicate, journal away, or therapy out of yourself for the last 10 years was never anxiety at all? Watch what happens in your body throughout a normal day. You walk into a room and your shoulders tighten before you understand why. You meet someone new and your stomach drops within 30 seconds. You read an email and your chest feels heavy before your brain has finished processing the words. Other people get information through thinking. You get it through your body first. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio called this the somatic marker hypothesis. Your nervous system stores patterns from every experience you've ever had. And when something matches one of those patterns, your body fires the alarm before your conscious mind catches up. For most brains, this signal is faint. For yours, it's a fire alarm. Layer 1 body sensation. Tightness, warmth, drop, pull. Layer 2 emotion. The sensation translates into a feeling. Layer 3 thought. You finally tell yourself what it means. Most people process top-down. Thought first, feeling later. Body almost never. You process bottom-up. Body first, feeling next, thought last. That isn't a malfunction. That isn't a disorder you need to fix. That is an older, deeper intelligence, the kind that kept your ancestors alive long before language existed. The mistake is not that your body talks too loudly. The mistake is that you've spent years arguing with it. Every time your body said this room is wrong, this person is unsafe, this opportunity will cost you something you're not ready to pay, and you overrode it with logic you weren't being rational. You were ignoring the older brain, the one that's almost always right. You can do small talk. You can hit your numbers. You can show up. But the moment a task, a relationship, or a conversation crosses into this doesn't matter. Something inside you simply turns off. People read this as moodiness, or arrogance, or being difficult. It is none of those things. Self-determination theory, developed by psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan at the University of Rochester, identifies meaning as a primary fuel for high-sensitivity, high-depth processors. Your brain literally runs out of operating energy when there is no signal of significance. Other brains can run on routine. Yours runs on resonance. This is why the wrong job will not just bore you, it will hollow you out. And once you know this about yourself, you cannot unknow it. You can ignore it. You can keep collecting paychecks at jobs that erase you. You can keep showing up to relationships where the conversation never goes deeper than logistics. You can keep saying yes to invitations that drain you, to careers that look right on paper, to a life that fits everyone except the person actually living inside it. But part of you will know. Every Sunday night, every Monday morning, every quiet drive home, that tiny voice that says, "This isn't it." That voice is not depression. That voice is not ingratitude. That voice is your nervous system telling you the truth. Your social conditioning won't let you say out loud, "This life does not fit me. I have outgrown the script I was given. Something has to change." Here is what these 5 signs actually mean, woven together. You are not a personality type. You are a nervous system. A nervous system that takes in more, holds it longer, and digests it deeper than the average human design. Every too much you have ever been told too sensitive, too intense, too in your head, too quiet, too hard to read is the same system, working as designed. The world, in its current shape, does not always reward this. But I want you to picture something for a moment. Somewhere right now, there is a stranger pulling over to the side of the road because a song made them cry. Someone canceling plans because the noise of the day is still inside their bones. Someone standing on a balcony at 11 p.m. Not depressed, just needing the cold air to feel like themselves again. Someone writing in a notebook nobody will ever read, just to stop the inside of their head from being so loud. You don't know them. They don't know you. But you are made of the same thing. You always were. You just thought you were the only one. That is the part nobody tells you. Being wired this way is rare, but it is not lonely. There is a quiet, scattered family of people who feel exactly like this. In apartments and offices and small towns all over the world. They are not on stages. They are not loud. They are not selling anything. They are just out there feeling, noticing, holding things gently and recognizing each other when they meet. You have been one of them your whole life. You are not late. You are not broken. You are home. I don't want you to close this video and feel a beautiful feeling that fades by tomorrow. So here are 3 things, small enough to do today. 1. Tonight, give yourself 15 minutes of buffer time before bed. No phone. Just sit. Watch what your nervous system does when nothing is asked of it. The first night will feel weird. The third night will feel necessary. 2. Tomorrow, when you feel a wave of someone else's emotion, ask one question. Whose feeling is this, mine or the room's? Just ask. Don't solve anything. Most of what you've been carrying isn't yours, and naming that out loud is the beginning of putting it down. 3. This week, write down one thing that feels meaningful to you that nobody else in your life understands. Don't justify it. Don't argue for it. Just put it on paper. That single page is a map back to yourself, the one you'll need on the days the world tells you to be smaller. 3 small things, not theory. Tools. Use one tonight, and your week is already different. A note before I close. Sensitivity is a real, measurable trait, and for most people who have it, the goal is integration, not treatment. But if what you've heard today maps more onto exhaustion that won't lift, persistent anxiety, sleep that doesn't restore you, or a numbness that has gone on too long, that is a different conversation. It deserves a real human, not a video. Please reach out to a qualified therapist or doctor. This video can give you language. It cannot give you care. Real people can. If something here landed somewhere, real, comment, 15 minutes. Not to flatter me. To mark this moment for yourself. To draw a line between who you were before this video and who you're becoming now that you have language for it. And if someone in your life has been carrying this without words for it, send them this video. Not as an explanation. As proof that they are not alone, that they were never the problem, that there is a quiet family out here waiting for them to notice. In the next video, I'll show you the 3 relationship patterns that quietly destroy people wired this way. Not the dramatic ones. The subtle ones, the ones that look like love from the outside, and slowly erase you from the inside. If you've ever walked away from a relationship feeling smaller than when you walked in, that video is for you. I'll see you there.